Just an update for anybody who may have the feed open on the computer. We will actually have play before the scheduled lunch break. So play will begin at 12:15. Lunch will be at 1. And there will be 84 overs in the day, with tea scheduled for around 5 to 4. And then the close of play probably something like midnight. And they can also claim 8 overs back tomorrow from those lost today. So technically only 4 overs gone today. The 4 overs that were lost last night to bad light, well, they've gone because it was after 6 o'clock when they went off anyway. But we get underway at 12:15.
Goes Chappell again and bowls. That one is pushed out into the offside nicely by Robinson. He's or anything. Aitchison bowls. That's driven gloriously by Robinson for 4 runs. First umpire Lloyd and bowls. And that one is driven. That's a more legitimate boundary for Robinson. Towel things, wasn't it? This next ball is driven gloriously straight back down the ground by Robinson for 4 runs.
Once more round the wicket. Oh, launched down the ground for 6 by the looks of things.
Goes Chappell again, and that one is driven down the ground for 4 runs by Robinson.
Wicket really well that match as well. There's the same shot again.
And he's driven it for 4 once more. Straight down the ground. from Chapel. This one is turned around the corner, slightly aerially to start with, and hit with such gusto that Ben Aitchison can't get to it at square leg. As you say, that's the first delivery of a new over from Ben Aitchison. Is bowled to Ollie Robinson, who drives him away for 4 runs. Again, what? And this one is smashed down the ground very aerially by Robinson.
Well, Ollie, you must have enjoyed that today. Came out when Durham had lost a few quick wickets and managed to steer them into calmer waters again.
Yeah, no, I think we had this chat earlier, and the belief in the group is that someone will step up and someone will dig us out of a problem. And yeah, luckily today was my day, and batted quite nicely, which is quite nice.
And your first century for Durham as well. I think you're 5th in first-class cricket, is that right?
Yeah, no, it was a good day. Kind of hit the middle of the bat from ball 1, and it's just one of those days. Got a couple of new good bats, so pretty happy with that.
And important for Graham Clark to do his bit at the other end. He didn't get a massive score, but his 39 runs just laid a foundation for you to do what you needed to do at your end.
No, exactly that, and we talk about partnerships a lot, and it becomes a lot easier batting with someone if you're not losing wickets. It becomes a lot easier just to build a partnership, and you can absorb the pressure and then push back after. So that's what we've done quite well today.
I think it was the finger of doom again. Sadly, I just hit go on a report for the BBC website saying it had been a faultless innings when you were out LBW. The ball that got you seemed to stay quite low, pitched on the length and never really got up.
Yeah, I did keep a little bit low, but I stupidly shuffled across the stumps and missed it. I mean, if you miss them in this rate, you're probably going to be out most of the time. So that's one of them.
Now, Paul Coughlin and Bryden Carse moved things on after you were out. They put together a pretty quick 100, didn't they? And Paul Coughlin 52, Bryden Carse coming back tomorrow and 77, and have pushed Durham's score along really nicely.
Yeah, no, we're in a really good position now in the game, and we're in the driving seat, and we can kind of play it how we want to play it now. And yeah, I'd probably have a chat in the morning about how we're going to go about trying to win this game now. But we've put ourselves in a very good position to do that.
410 on the board, I think, for 8, and there's still 12 overs or something like that, probably more, to get the final batting point. Yeah. So that's got to be the next focus. But for the 4th week in a row, whether you've been put in or you've decided to bat yourselves, you've been the top scorers in the country on day 1.
Yeah, I know, and I think that's a real testament to our batting group and the way that we're trying to play cricket, and it's working for us, and we're finding a nice balance in between being fearless and being reckless, and yeah, everything seems what we're doing at the moment seems to be going well. So hopefully long may that continue.
And what were the conditions like today? It was chilly and overcast today. Was the ball doing much?
It did a little bit. The newer ball was probably more challenging for the lads up top, but it's, every now and then one would bounce, one would stay a little bit low, but on the whole it's a pretty good cricket pitch.
And fingers crossed there's going to be overnight rain tonight, but prompt start tomorrow, get those runs on the board, and then have Derbyshire batting early in the morning.
Well, I think that'll be the plan. Try and get out and see what happens.
Just a couple of minutes, okay.
Yeah, of course.
You got a 70 odd. It was it last week, and was it a conscious decision? You seemed to go quite quickly through the gears to get that century.
No, not at all. I think it was just the fields that were set, and kind of my scoring options were played into the fields. So it was quite a nice release to be able to go through quickly. But yeah, I felt good last week as well, so it's nice to actually get that 100 this week.
Quite aggressive against the spinner particularly. Was that just a conscious decision to sort of knock him out the attack and get more overs into Aitchison and Connors? Yeah,
I think so. There's definitely an element of that, but it's quite challenging when they set 8 on the leg side with bounces around the wicket, which is never nice to face. So yeah, you got to try and score at one end, I guess.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Chesley Street. Slightly later than planned, but incredibly only an hour and a quarter of play has been lost today. It was absolutely miserable as I drove through this morning. Really heavy rain and low cloud, and you wouldn't have thought you'd be seeing cricket in a month of Sundays around about 9:30. The rain stopped around about 20 to 11. The ground staff are out straight away with the covers off. They've done a cracking job, and we start at 12:15 with Durham 410 for 8. Lunch will be at 1. 84 overs scheduled in the day. Going to be a long day for myself, Martin Emerson, and my colleague Dave Fletcher, and we'll probably be getting the milk train home, I think, at this rate. It'll be about a midnight finish. But cricket is about to break out. So we're in an interesting position because Durham rattled along nicely yesterday. 410 for 8 and a run rate of 4.5. Bryden Carse has 77. Matty Potts has 9. Carse looking to go one better than last week when he made a career best 91 at Glamorgan. Can he get to 100 today, and in doing so take Durham past 450 and the final batting point? One more wicket needed for Derbyshire to get the final bowling point that is on offer, and there's still 18 overs of bonus point time left, so there's plenty of opportunity for all of those things to happen. Who knows, Durham could get to 450 and then declare and have Derbyshire batting before lunch. That would be something, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it? Yeah, sorry, I wasn't expecting you to stop talking anytime soon.
Yeah.
Well, international drainage. That's all I've got to say.
All right. Are they a company?
Yeah. The company that put the drainage in here, presumably, because international ground drainage is clearly far better than non-international ground drainage. And no, it's a remarkable effort. The covers, when I arrived, and it was still raining, were absolutely... Well, there must have been inches of water on parts of them.
Yeah.
Remarkable job to see these people warming out. Just hope that Ben Aitchison's okay. Remember, he had that unpleasant fall that ended his season here a few years ago.
With his ankle ligaments.
Yeah. He's gone out to... he's actually led the team onto the field, pretty much. He's raced on. Zach Chappell's going to start, though.
I took a photograph at 10:40 because it was still raining, and I said, sadly, it's still raining here. And then it must have stopped the instant I posted that picture because the staff were out, started to mop up. The umpires were meant to have an inspection at 11:45, but they came out and inspected at 11:30 and said, right, let's get on with it. So they're up for moving the game along. So Zach Chappell it is who will resume the action from our end of the ground, and he's bowled 20 overs yesterday. He took 2 for 103, 1 made, and he started off well, and he took 2 wickets in 2 overs, both caught at second slip by Wayne Madsen. He saw off Borthwick for 9 and Beddingham for 4, but then just lost his way a bit with the ball in the afternoon, and particularly the new ball ended up quite costly, didn't it?
It was terrible last night. Terrible. Yeah, they let themselves down.
The school down.
They let the team down. Worst of all, etc. Yeah, it wasn't great. As you said, we've been invaded.
He's got some snazzy new trainers.
Yeah, look at that. Well, they matched the badge thing on his. Is that how it works? Yeah.
Chappell in, start of the day's play then, and Carse straight away with a 4-pass point. It was a half volley, shortish delivery, really, a warm-up delivery, I suppose you could say.
A short half volley.
It was just a bad ball.
Sorry, I got slightly confused by the short half volley.
Yeah. It was a short ball, wasn't it? Really, it wasn't a half volley.
Thanks, Fletch.
There we are.
A short half volley.
Yeah.
What a way to start the day.
Yeah.
Well, I think 2
deliveries in.
Every game should start that way. Well, you did have 3 wickets in 2 balls.
I did yesterday.
Yeah. So it's all going very well.
I think I did that twice, didn't I?
You did something else later on. You said he'd scored 120 out of the 40 that had been scored.
Chappell in again. This is left alone outside the off stump. That was a better delivery.
These are long days, Martin, and this one's going to be very long. So if you're ready, if you're looking for mistakes, just write all mine down.
Well, start as you mean to go on, I would say.
Throw them back at me later.
So anyway, Martin Emerson with you from Radio Newcastle, Dave Fletcher from Radio Derby, and the boy Ash Thorpe in his Parkview Academy gate. Got his initials on there, in white lettering. AT.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
AT, phone home.
That top snug though, isn't it?
This one.
Chapel in again, balls, bouncer.
I think it might fit both of us in, Fletch, to be honest.
Carse just ducking out of that one.
I've gone for elasticated waist.
It's all about comfort.
Vigorous pre-season regime.
Yeah.
We never got to the bottom of how to get those stains out my hoodie, though, did we, yesterday? It was
No.
disappointing. I think they're there for good now. Well, I didn't expect to see play as early as this, did you?
No, there was some just moist weather around, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't go anywhere.
Chapel in, bowls to Carse. Carse pushes it off towards the cover area, and a quick single. That was risky because I don't think Potts was ready for that. There was a shy of the stumps. Was that from Hyder Ali in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, just missed the target at the keeper's end. Would have been touch and go as to whether or not Potts was in there, and I think he's having a conversation with Carse along those lines at the moment.
Took him a while to get going there, didn't it?
Yeah. It's physics, isn't it?
I guess so, yeah.
It takes a while
Motion.
for an object to get going, but once
Yep.
it gets going, it takes a while for it to stop.
Very
Is
good.
that a ship? Talking about ships.
Definitely my running between the wickets takes a while to get going.
There's a few centre-backs I've watched over the years.
Yes. 2 balls left in the over. Here's Chapel again to Potts, who drives up to mid-off. No run there. Yeah. I wasn't very good at chemistry or biology or physics, because when we did our mocks to decide what our options were going to be, I came second and bottom in all of them.
Oh, well.
So I was literally spoilt for choice, really. Ended up doing chemistry. Double chemistry on a Thursday morning was horrendous.
What a way to start the day.
Yeah. Last ball of the over. 415 for 8 Durham. 5 from this over so far.
Oof.
Oh, that pops a little bit, doesn't it? And zips away to the keeper end of the over.
That's a good delivery, that from Chapel. Hits a good length and goes away and taken around chest high through to the keeper. Bowled well in spells when I was in yesterday, and then I think I was the lucky charm for Derbyshire when I was in, and then
It's good to have you back.
and the run started to flow. But beautiful innings from Robinson yesterday. Saying a while back, it reminded me of Michael Slater, the way he batted and just
He looks the part,
timed the
doesn't
ball
he?
beautifully. Yeah,
I bet you enjoyed the match last night, did you?
I did.
Yeah.
I did indeed. Yeah, it was, well, not the first half. It was a bit scrappy the first half, but
That dribble down the wing and then down along the line
Isaac
for the
he
goals.
can play, yeah.
Yeah.
Bit of competition between him and Callum Wilson as to who gets the start, but they both keep scoring, so Eddie Howe seems to know what he's doing. Playing some good football at the moment.
We were in the pub. We couldn't see a screen from where we were sitting, which was fine because
You would have heard everything from reactions anyway.
there were a lot of cheers. Ben Aitchison begins from the Lumley end and has bowled a ball on the leg stump, and it's been turned by Carse. Down to fine leg for 4 runs.
He's in a hurry this morning.
Moves on to 86. Perhaps he doesn't trust the other 2 batsmen who are remaining.
I think they'll just obviously look to try and get 450 as quick as possible with the last 2 and then declare. I thought they might have even declared last night with the lights on and it being a bit gloomy.
Yes, I don't think Derbyshire's openers would have wanted to abandon last night, would they?
Definitely not. But Carse is having a good couple of weeks with the bat. Catching the eye of selectors above, I would have thought, with his bowling and his batting at the moment.
Who's here? Neil here?
Squeaky Colleen is here.
Is he?
He is. I had a little chat to him this morning.
Is he in his England tracksuit again?
Of course he is.
Yeah.
Of course he is.
Well,
It's very weird watching him in it, actually,
Yeah.
and not his Durham kit.
available from all good retailers. Aitchison bowls, that's better. Carse has to defend this one out into the onside. Godalman does the fielding.
Davy Fenix emailed. He says a couple of things. I think cricket lets itself down. Why have a lunch break after only 45 minutes of play? Also, why does the BBC have on the website pitch inspection 11:15 local time? Fair enough for games all over the world, but do they think we have a different time zone in the UK?
Mm.
Well, actually, the pitch inspection was meant to be 11:45 and ended up being 11:30.
Next delivery from Aitchison is pushed out into the offside. Just hits the top of the bat, really, the splice, and fielded by Matt Lamb at cover.
Should be a little bit of juice in the pitch this morning, being on the covers for a while, and just, yeah, it's cold and damp again here today.
It's going to get really warm this weekend.
Beautiful. Where, in Tunisia or somewhere? Or?
Might reach 15 degrees here tomorrow.
Next up is Edge, but short of first slip. Lears deploy. And he picks up another single. Carse to move to 87.
Can he get the 3 figures for the first time?
We're all on tenterhooks here on this end of the table, I can tell you.
As somebody tweeted yesterday, he's now looking like a proper all-rounder.
He can play. He's a very, very handy player.
Some good footballing skills today as well.
We watched that warm-up?
Airing down, and he took the ball out the sky and killed it.
Edges and Bowles to Potts, who guides it off an edge down to the vacant third man area, and that will be 4 more runs. Potts moves into double figures. He's under 13, 424 for 8 now. No sign of any let up in the run scoring that, as you said, Ash, happened that when they took the new ball, they bowled appallingly with it.
Well, there was 1 over, there was 4 fours in it, wasn't it?
No, it was just all. And yet, yesterday was probably the best day that Derbyshire have had with the ball.
Well, they had that good probably hour and a half, didn't they, with the ball, where they put Durham under real pressure and took some wickets, and then
Either side of lunch, wasn't it?
yeah, and then Robinson came in and kind of changed the dynamic of the whole day. After Lee's got Durham off to a bit of a flyer.
We can expect the Derbyshire openers, Billy Godwin and Haider Ali, to try to do the same kind of thing. They've been very aggressive up top. Aitchison is in, and it's defended by Potts. To mid-on, Mark Watt does the fielding in his filthy trousers. And it's the end of the over. 87 to Carse, 13 to Potts. You add those together and you've got 3 figures. 424 for 8.
Should be in for an interesting morning here. Durham will obviously look to push to get to 450. Carse will look to get his 100. And I would have thought a declaration had followed pretty soon after that, if they're not bowled out. So there's lots to happen this morning. There's a smallish crowd in compared to yesterday, which I thought was an excellent crowd for a pretty chilly day up here. It was one of the better crowds that I've seen for a championship game.
Attraction, Derbyshire.
Chappell starts a new over, a leading edge from Carse. He didn't have a clue where that had gone. It's come off the shoulder of the bat, I think. It's raced down to vacant third man for 4. The pub is open.
You take him on 87, the Devil's number in Australia, that one.
Yeah.
Thought that was just going to lob up in the air to a fielder, but it's...
From this angle, it looked like it was, if there'd been somebody at point, it looked like it was going to be a simple catch. But when it landed, it was miles away, wasn't it?
I certainly didn't think it had the legs to get to the boundary, that was for sure. So Chappell seems to have found a nice little spot on the pitch here. The last couple that he's bowled have...
He's on his joint highest score now. Equals last week's effort at Glamorgan.
At a good rate as well.
He's scoring at 90. What was that?
91 off 100.
91 off 100
Yeah.
balls, yeah.
And what's his strike rate, Martin?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, 91. Chappell in, the balls, and he defends this one. Just trickles out on the offside, no run there.
Nervous 90s.
Yeah. You been there, Dave?
No.
No.
Neither on a cricket field nor on a motorway.
I don't believe...
In your car.
But my car's all right. What dare you?
Do you still have the? Do you still run with your feet out the bottom, pushing it along? Like
My car's all right. Do you want me to go and show you now? My car's fine.
Take him outside.
Unbelievable.
Chappell comes in and bowls. It's gone down the leg side. I thought you only had that little hatchback thing.
No, that died.
Yeah. That was what I was thinking of. You see, that car.
It only did 250,000 miles. They don't last.
Still
Do they?
plenty.
They don't last. I took it in to have its MOT, and I stood there while they did it. And he came out and he went. Sharp intake of breath. I said, "It's died, hasn't it?" He said, "Yeah, I'm afraid so." I said, "Well, I need one for tomorrow. What have you got?" Got a new one.
Chappell comes in and bowls. Driven up to mid-off, no run there. You bought a car in less than a day.
Yeah.
Why is it whenever you go to a main dealer and buy a car, it's always over, you've got to bring your documents in.
It's all the added extras that they're calculating on
you.
you.
Ready next Wednesday.
I've been going to this bloke to have my car serviced and stuff, and we bought cars off him before for about 35 years. And he said, a car, and I needed a car, obviously. And he said, "Well, I've got this." with Fiat. Very nice.
What is it?
Some kind of Fiat. I call it bronze, but it's officially beige.
Magnolia.
Double balls, it's a bouncer. Carse leaves that one alone. Is it a Fiat 150 or something? Or?
Is it Punto? Is there a Punto?
Oh, yeah.
There is.
I used to have a Punto years ago. It was a canny little car. That.
Yeah. First car I've ever had with a DAB radio in it, which is important for me.
Yeah.
And it's got cruise control as well, which is the first car I've ever had with cruise control. I got to 59.
Have you ever tried set it up?
Yeah, I use it all the time. When I'm doing 30 on the A1 in Durham.
Those roadworks go on and on and on, don't they?
I'm alive.
Carse still on 91. He leaves this one, and that is the end of the over. So he can be with his thoughts for the time being on his joint highest score. This is the thing with these roadworks. They don't just do like 2 or 3 miles anymore. They do about 15 or 20 miles.
Cones a lot off, and you're driving past cones with nothing happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's been nothing happening for that long. There's actually a tree growing out the road.
But as Bernard said yesterday, if the car manufacturers actually invested in the roads...
Oh.
Yeah. I'm a bit peckish now, Ash. I'm thinking it's about ready time for lunch. Yeah,
It's a strange time. It seems we've just started, and then I was just thinking the same thing. I said to my son Michael next to us, I said, I'm really hungry. You have Aitchison in, and this one's defended down to mid-on by Potts for no run. 428 for 8. Durham again off to a bit of a flyer this morning with some boundaries for both players. Carse on a career best 91. Matching his score from last week. Potts keeping him company on 13. As Aitchison comes in again, and Potts on the back foot defends this one just out into the covers again for no run.
Still have the impression it's raining out there because there's lots of water dripping off the roof.
Yeah.
There's big puddles in out the back of the media centre and the road.
Been some steady rain overnight, and that light drizzle that just doesn't go anywhere we've had for most of the morning, and
it doesn't show up on the radar either.
No, it doesn't. Aitchison again, right arm over, and then Potts clips this one off his hip, and he'll look to come back for 2. This one goes out to deep backward square, and they get back comfortably. See him on to 15, and the score under 430. 430 even for 8. Just a bit of a strange time in the game. As I said, there's a few things that will happen in the near future, and that's the setting up process, I guess. As Durham look to get their last batting point. What do you think of that, the new bonus point thing for batting? I think it's a lot.
Well, it is, but Durham got maximum points last week. Oof.
So Ryan Campbell,
and they could get them this week as well.
Yeah, and they will. But I reckon that if Durham had maximum batting points at 400, I bet they'd have declared by now. I reckon. It's an interesting one there. If you're looking to set up results and reward wins, then to extend the batting by another 50 runs is promoting people to bat longer. This one's left alone outside the off stump and through the keeper. Because they've reduced the points for a draw as well, haven't they?
Back to 5. I think they moved it up to 8 after, because of COVID, didn't they? And under Joe Root, wasn't it argued that some teams deserved more for a hard-fought draw? Under Ben Stokes, it's now all about aggressive cricket.
Absolutely. So Aitchison comes in, and this one's defended nicely off the middle of the bat down to mid-off for no run, and that ends the over. Durham on 4-3-0 for 8. Potts on 15, and Carse on 91 in pursuit of his maiden first-class century. Here at the Riverside on a very overcast and gloomy morning, but it is gradually brightening up. And the forecast seems
by 2.
Yeah, forecast seems pretty fair for this afternoon, which is good. We should see a lot of cricket. You guys might be here till about 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Fletcher's looking forward to a twilight meal somewhere.
Doesn't matter what time you get a kebab. Chapel to Carse. It's off the splice of the bat and loops away beyond the slip cordon down towards the vacant third man area again. He's now got his highest scores. He runs 2. He moves on to 93.
Yeah, bit of lift off a length there. That'll encourage these two, especially that are batting out there. They'll be licking their lips at the prospect of bowling, as Potts there just indicates to Carse. Yeah, that bounced a little bit, and I think Carse is probably thinking, yeah, I know, mate, I had to play it. I wouldn't be surprised if a gully comes in here after the last couple of balls as Deploy comes down and has a chat with Zach Chappell. 4:32 for 8. I think he might be going 1 and 1 here. One slip who's going to come a little bit wider, and I think Deploy himself is going to lurk in the gully area, which he has gone down to.
Comes in and bowls, defended by Carse, right on a length, right about middle stump. So we started at 12:15, lunch is at 1, tea 3:55. 84 overs remaining in the day. They'll try and score 8 back tomorrow that they lost today. And if the light holds and they get all these overs in today and everything goes the way they plan tomorrow, they'll have only lost 4 overs.
Incredible.
From today, and 4 overs from last night for bad luck. Carse waits as Chappell bowls, and he's pushed that to backward point, no run there. Deploy is in there, fielding.
A few more people just wandering into the ground, which is nice. A lot over in front of the health club, pitch over towards the pavilion side, and a few in the members on the new comfy padded seats up there.
Chappell past the umpire, bowls played by Carse out through the covers. There's a man sweeping up towards the far end of the pavilion. He'll get 2 more. He was on to 95. Ollie Robinson made 114 yesterday, and
a very pleasant innings that. Actually watched the highlights on the scoring channel a few times last night.
that was century number 326 for Durham in first class cricket yesterday, so we could see 327 today. 5 needed from Carse. Chappell in, bowls. Carse leaves this one alone.
It's good pace in the pitch there, it's zipping through. What about that catch from, it was Hyder Ali in the slips off Jones yesterday? Wow.
One-handed. Brilliant catch.
Absolute beauty.
Yeah, that was Michael Jones, wasn't it, when he was on 43. Snatched it one-handed, diving to his right.
Beautiful catch.
Last ball of the over. He comes in and bowls. Oh, that away off the back foot. Lovely shot. Back foot punch for 4. Through the covers to the pavilion.
Oof. Matches his shirt number.
He's now on 99.
That was a glorious shot, just back of a length, and Chappell kicks the pitch in disgust as he walks away. But I don't think that was a particularly bad ball. That was just a beautiful shot from Carse. Up on his toes and punched it through cover point. Raced away over towards the members. Puts him on the brink, 99.
Yeah.
1 run away, and Durham on 438 for 8.
Mervyn points out with our road work talk earlier, if a tree is growing out of the road, then it must be a trunk road.
Well played.
When we were in Cuba a few years back, there literally were trees growing out the motorway.
Seriously?
Yeah, I was driving along thinking, what's that coming towards me? And then realised it was a tree.
Jeez.
In the outside lane.
We've got Aitchison. Right arm over the wicket from the Lumley end, and Potts defends this one. Back to the bowler for no run. We now have a third man in place, which Marty will be happy with. Have a bartender.
438 for 8, so 12 away from the final batting point. Then run off, do you reckon?
I would.
Get Derbyshire in before lunch.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems to be doing a little bit this morning as well, the odd ball. So Aitchison this one down the leg side and taken comfortably by Guest.
There might not be time to get them to get out there and have a go at them before lunch.
So lunch is still at 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awkward timing, isn't it, actually? When you look at it. 12 runs needed. What have we got on the clock there? 25 to take off the 10 minutes. Yeah, so you're probably right. Aitchison again, and Potts pushes this one out behind point. And Potts very generously declines a second run there. He could have quite easily come back, but I think he's wanting to get Carse there and give him the opportunity to bring up his 100 rather than sitting at the non-striker's end and worrying about it. 99 currently for 111 balls. As Derbyshire set up a filthy ring, which I absolutely love, just to put a bit of pressure on. And bring a man in at catching at cover, really, to stop him pinching a single in there. Square leg comes up, third man's up, 2 slips in place. Zach Chappell lonely out there on the boundary at fine leg. And Mark Watt cleverly just taking his time there, making Carse have a little think. All these little pieces of gamesmanship. As Aitchison comes into bowl. And Carse leaves this one a bit of swing away from the bat and allows it through to the keeper.
Start that video again, Martin.
Nice bit of shape on that, so that'll again encourage the Durham bowlers. A little bit of movement, and the overhead conditions do really suit bowling. Ideally it would be another 10 degrees warmer.
You'd never know though, would you?
But yeah, Durham sitting pretty at the moment. 439 for 8. Carse on 99. And this one's clipped away into mid-wicket, and that brings up his maiden first-class century. He actually nearly forgets to come back for a second because he was about to celebrate. Congratulations to Bryden Carse. 100. He celebrates there towards his teammates and to the members. It comes up off 113 balls. With 11 fours and the 1-6. A fantastic innings. Setting up a big total here for Durham.
Great to see him get over the line this week after falling short last week.
Brilliant stuff from Carse. And this could be interesting now to see how quickly they can try and get to that 450 and maybe set up an awkward 10 minutes. As Carse this time defends it out into the offside. Be a bit of adrenaline pumping through those veins right now. But a superb century there.
Yeah, an awkward 10 minutes followed by an awkward 2.5 hours, I think.
Could be. I mean, it looks a pretty good pitch to bat on. It's done a little bit this morning, but like you said, I think if the ball is there to be hit, the outfield seems in pretty good nick as well. It's a massive playing surface that Vic set up out here today.
We got the yardage yet? Does anybody?
No, do you want me to message him?
Yeah, see if he can tell us what the yardage is.
I will.
Oh, look. We've got bowling change. Mark Watt is going to bowl for the first time today from the Finkel end, bit of left arm spin.
.441 for 8. And Derbyshire just slowing this down a little bit here. I know they've brought the spinner on, but I'd be just trying to eke this out and make sure that they don't get a bat before lunch.
That's not a bad shout either. Around the wicket goes Mark Watt, bowls to Matty Potts, who just pushes it out into the onside. There's no run. I don't think Mark Watts bowled particularly well yesterday. Wait for a couple of 3-6s. He's in again and bowls. That one is flipped up towards middle. It's a shot at the stumps by Aitchison, and he's gone. A direct hit from Ben Aitchison, and Matty Potts just couldn't make his ground in time. He got the dive out. Stump is out of the ground. Aitchison takes the congratulations of his teammates, and Derbyshire are 1 wicket away from batting, with Durham still 9 shy of maximum batting points. But the good news is that Bryden Carse will be on strike and off Matt Parkinson. 441 for 9.
That was a brilliant bit of fielding, that, from the big fellow.
But I was 45 there, those two.
Yeah, it was an excellent partnership, but that was hit firmly by Potts, probably just too firmly. Aitchison ran in and had plenty of the stumps to aim at and knocked this stump out of the ground. Potts was short. Matt Parkinson on debut for Durham comes out and he's Be interesting to see if his little loan spell is extended slightly with see news around that Matt Kuhneman is potentially...
Don't say anything.
I know. Potentially, see that? I got that word in. Potentially getting his results of a stress fracture today.
Allegedly. Yeah.
So said somebody else. But he comes out to the crease. Durham in a healthy position, 4-4-1 for 9. He'll join his partner. I've just got the dimensions from Vic, and I'm actually quite surprised. He says 68 metres to 2 straight boundaries, 70 metres to the old scoreboard side, and 60 metres to the pavilion.
No idea what that means.
Meters in yards?
Yeah, no idea what that means.
It's an elephant. Anybody want to go on? Get your converter out.
Yeah.
Get your con water.
So we need. What do we need? Length.
Yeah. Well, or width. It makes no difference, Martin. Really.
So what are we going for? Meters.
70 metres. We'll go 70. Go the biggest one first.
Okay.
While you're doing that, and it's taking all your powers of concentration, what I would say is I would expect that Bryden Carse will start to swing the bat even more now. With the greatest of respect to Matty Parkinson, he can't bat.
70 metres, 76 yards.
There we go.
That can't be right.
No, it doesn't sound right. Here is Mark Watt bowling to Bryden Carse, and he defends this one back to the left arm spinner.
You get the feeling 450 is going to come quickly or all out.
Or not at all.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I think the way Matty Parkinson's been treated over the past 2 or 3 years by England is the same as a lot of people have been treated by England over the last 2 or 3 years, and it's affected his confidence. I don't think there's any question of that, but his batting has never been his strength.
No.
And
Well bowled.
and that one is punched down the ground. It was a comfortable single there, and he's declined it. He's got a first-class batting average, I think we looked up yesterday, of 9.
Yeah, leg spinners just want to be loved, don't they?
Yeah.
They just want a little bit of an arm around them, want to be loved. And Rian Ahmed seems to have come in and...
We just hope they don't do the same thing that they did to him. It was the lad from Hampshire. It was
Mason Crane?
Mason Crane.
Yeah.
Wow, this is the future. Well, he's not anymore. And Matty Parkinson, this is the future. It's not anymore. I don't think that Matt Parkinson's inability to score heavily helped him necessarily in the England setup, whereas Rian Ahmed obviously can...
Very handy player, isn't he? Yeah.
Saw his maiden. I've got a collection of maiden first-class centuries, including Bryden Carse. Rian Ahmed got one at Derby at the end of last season in the final game. They've got a man coming out who is heavily armoured.
Is that the skipper going off? Oh, no, he was sub anyway,
yeah,
wasn't he?
Harry Kane has gone off that. I think will be, yes it is, it's Matt Lamb, who spent a lot...
Just what you want to go, whack in the back pad, mate. 100 overs under the belt. Well, 70 odd anyway.
So here is Matt Parkinson's first delivery, faced as a Durham player. He's got a slip. He's got that short leg, and there's a man close in at short extra cover, and he goes back and
what a player.
Carves the ball out to the boundary for 4 runs. And I wish I'd said what I was thinking before. We were talking about it in the pub last night. The number of Durham batsmen who've got off the mark with the boundary is ridiculous. It's been embarrassing. And now Matt Parkinson's managed it as well, which is possibly the most embarrassing of the lot.
Glorious shot.
It was a beautiful shot.
Back foot punch through point. Actually they've got a sweeper out. Last ball of the over.
Just in case Martin wants to include it in his report, his strike rate is 400, Martin. Here is Watt in again, and that was defended by Parkinson. Hits it to the offside. Billy Godleman picks up, and it's the end of the over, which saw the departure of Matty Potts run out by a direct hit from Ben Aitchison. And Durham are now 4 runs away with Bryden Carse on strike from maximum batting bonus points at 446 for 9.
Scouts out, I think, for Carse on strike now, trying to encourage Parkinson to get down to the striker's end. The move towards the 100 over mark. This is the 100th over.
So there's 10 overs to get these 4 runs. 11 overs to get these
11.
And this ball's only 19 overs old. You'd never know, would you?
I sometimes think that dangerous the new ball, especially if the batters are in, it really comes onto the bat. And it sounds like Absolutely raced. Well, that shot from Parkinson in particular absolutely raced off his bat there out to point boundary. To probably some ironic cheers and surprise cheers from the crowd.
They can just last 4 more minutes. They won't have to bat.
That's true. As Aitchison comes in and Carse allows this one a bit Marnus-like through to the keeper with his leave.
There's a few doing that now, isn't it?
Oh, it's contagious.
Yeah, I think it's very fashionable.
Start shouting no run as he does it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all in trouble.
One of the lads in the pub 2 or 3 years ago, the last Ashes series, was actually convinced Steve Smith was missing the ball all of the time. He was actually trying to hit it. I had to explain what was going on.
As Aitchison comes in and Carse pushes this one out and refuses the run as it dribbles out to Billy Godalman on the point boundary.
I'd be pointing to the scoreboard if I was Matt Parkinson, saying, hang on a minute.
Just whack one, mate. He's probably thinking
4 from 2.
yeah, give me the strike.
I'll sort it out.
Yeah. Just starting again to get a little bit brighter out here. The wind seems to have died down a little bit.
Lifting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still very grey. But I like the shade of grey. Carse absolutely has a dip, trying to hit that over the health club and over the spire in Chesley Street.
Welcome to the baseball season.
And does neither. Yeah, Harry Brooks sponsored by MLB, isn't he?
Yeah, I've been out with the St. Louis Cardinals. I'd love to see him. I'd love to see him. We were talking about it with my lad. I watch a lot of baseball. I'd like to see him actually bat and field in a game of baseball. See how he gets on.
Yeah. As Aitchison comes in and he does make contact with this one, and that is a home run. And I think they'll walk off. Will they?
It's gone over.
Yeah, and they're going to get a horrible over in here. That is a monster from Carse. And that's out of here. Goodbye, Mr. Spalding, as they'd probably say in America. That is massive. That brings up the batting point, and Durham declare on 4:52 for 9, and Bryden Carse gets a standing ovation for his 108 not out. And maybe it's for Parkinson for his 4 off that first ball. And unfortunately for the Derbyshire openers, they've got to scramble off, and they have 10 minutes to get ready to face 1 over before lunch.
A lunch watchman.
Imagine. That's normally me, that. I'm normally watching lunch.
You and me both.
What did they make last week? 471 for 9 declared at Glamorgan last week, 452 for 9 this week, so maximum batting points 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
Carse not out in 108, but that 6 was worth a 20.
That was huge.
It's gone over the roof of the... In all the years we've been watching cricket here, the only time I remember there was 1 over when Mark Elam hit 5 sixes off.
Oh, that was a while ago, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Early days of the T20. And a couple of those went over the roof.
I think there was David Warner was doing some range hitting here for when he was with his short spell at Durham, and he was hitting them right-handed onto the roof of the gym.
It's insane.
Right-handed. Incredible. But yeah, another week, another max batting points for Durham.
And maximum bowling points for Derbyshire.
Absolutely, sorry about that. Tend to forget about things like that when there's 450 on the board, but you're absolutely right.
You're right. You're right to forget them.
And 1 naughty over. As Derbyshire are going to come out to bat at 12:58, as it says on the scoreboard.
0 for 1 at lunch. It doesn't sound great, does it?
It's time for 2 in an over, mate, isn't it?
No, because once 1 goes, I think they'll walk off. Won't they?
Absolutely.
1 ball, 0 for 1.
Absolutely.
No, it's going to be tricky, and the heavy rollers going on, so the pitch might calm down a touch. Mickey Arthur and
Marcus
North walking out together to them. Presumably, he's picking his brains about getting a Pakistan overseas international.
Well, he's apparently...
Actually, it's not. It's Ian Bell. It's not Mickey Arthur. It's Ian Bell.
Yeah, you were talking about that this morning, weren't you? The Pakistan connection. You'd read something.
They're available, aren't they?
We spoke about it yesterday with Tim.
Yeah. Out the Durham
which I said that Derbyshire are in this tricky position with Saranga Lakmal, in that he's injured and the T20 starts quite soon. He's got a groin injury. It's a groin issue, they're calling it. I've no idea what that means. Will he be fit for the T20? And if he isn't, well, Mickey might have to, and I, in my words, dip into his bag of tricks and perhaps pluck out another overseas. I mean, Shan Masood was a roaring success last season. Haider Ali's been okay so far, but he hasn't had many opportunities. At which Tim Hostock said, yeah, Marcus North had been he'd been picking Mickey Arthur's brains, and he had a smile on his face, and I'm thinking, yeah, because obviously he's the head of Pakistan cricket now. And then on the Cricketer website this morning, Marcus North in negotiations with Mickey Arthur about bringing a Pakistan overseas international, which is not quite what was said yesterday. In fact, nothing could have been. Well,
there's a few quotes yesterday, weren't there? That weren't said.
Well, yes, but one of them was said and then was withdrawn. We'll not go down that road. I don't want to upset the chief executive.
No.
But what he said in the afternoon wasn't what was reported in the in the cricket.
I love it though. I think it's absolutely brilliant that the guys are coming on and sharing that information. Maybe sharing a little bit too much, but we all want to know that. The fans want to know what's happening, and we're disappointed that somebody with the profile of Stubbs that's not coming over. And who are we going to get? We had Ashton Turner come over last year, who I absolutely love because he plays for the Perth Scorchers and has a fantastic record, and he came over and he dislocated his shoulder and never quite transformed that out onto the pitch for Durham. I think he signed somewhere else now, hasn't he? He's at Gloucester or somewhere. But
well, not play then, will he?
Yeah, might bring his armbands over. Might be good rehab for his shoulder.
Landing in his waders.
It's been wet down there.
Absolutely. But it's so important to have that focal point. You talked about Shan Masood. Has he gone to Yorkshire? Is that right? Or which is a real shame because he led Derbyshire on all fronts last year. He was superb.
I don't think they were very happy.
No, I can imagine.
But then again, he's been in Pakistan since the start of this season because he's in the squads was in the squad for the T20. Yeah. Didn't play. Now he's in the one-day squad. And being mischievous, Mickey Arthur now suggests that he needs to rest for 6 months. As the head of Pakistan cricket, everybody will be delighted.
No connections with Derbyshire whatsoever.
Love it. Delighted. Yeah, he's gone in as captain of Yorkshire, remarkably. Sure how that went down with the members, but yeah, captain of Yorkshire. It's we were talking about Yorkshire and Doige yesterday, weren't we? It's his birthday today. He's at 112. So happy birthday, Doige. I know you'll be listening because we're your two favourite commentators.
Many happy returns. Stanley McAlinden's birthday today as well. Up here in Durham, yeah.
Let's see, 14.
I think he's 19 actually.
19.
Scary.
Right, bowling figures. Chappell 2 for 120 in 23 overs, 1 maiden. Ben Aitchison 3 for 131 in 27.4, and 4 maidens for him. Connors 1 for 56 and 18, 4 maidens. Rees none for 63 and 15, 3 maidens. Watt none for 68 and 13, 1 maiden, and Lamb none for 10 in 3, 1 maiden. There, your scores on the doors.
Scored at a pretty healthy rate there as well, 4.5 and over. But Durham have set them up with plenty of time remaining in this game. As Ryan Campbell said earlier in the season, that you need 20 wickets to win these games. And on a pretty good batting surface, they're going to need as much time as possible, especially losing some time yesterday and this morning with the weather.
303 to avoid the follow-on.
I'll just write that in.
I think.
Because I can never calculate the following.
150, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's actually 149. Isn't it, really?
Yeah. So I've just taken 149 away from 452 and 303. Whether that's right or not, I'm not sure. But
that's on the radio.
We'll go with it, mate.
We'll go with it. It's a lot.
Yes.
They need to get 2 batting bonus points before they can avoid the follow-on.
I've left my abacus next door.
Yeah, it's not my strong point. It's just a good job that numbers are barely come into cricket.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd be in real trouble. Real trouble.
Yeah, I said that to my maths teacher, Mr. Clark, when I was going down a maths set at school, and he was the maths teacher. And I said, well, why am I going to need maths in my life? He was also the man who ran the school cricket team, and is probably listening at the moment.
And he's still wondering how you managed to commentate on it.
Yeah.
1 over. 1 naughty over before lunch. From the look of it, I think Ben Rain came out and
he had a go.
Surveyed his area, his domain.
Could sneak 2 in at 5-2.
The worst thing from a Derbyshire point of view is if there is only the 1 over and there's only perhaps 1 ball. So they need to be stubborn in resistance here, getting back in the clutch untainted. Got the heavy roller out there as well.
Godwin's just indicated that he, as he has done all season, will take the first ball. Didn't used to do it when he was batting with Lewis Rees. Not all the time, certainly, but he has this year. Whether that's to protect Hayder a little bit.
Naughty, naughty. 1 over.
Mark Wood has just tweeted, "I can't believe it. Dead chuffed to be shortlisted for the Sunday Times Sportsbook Award. Crazy list to be a part of."
Did he write it himself?
I didn't even know there was a book, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's looking forward to reading it.
Well, he's up against Pat Murphy, the BBC Sports Report book.
Oh yeah, the sports, yeah.
Ian Holloway, How to Be a Football Manager. Jeff Shreves,
My Life in the Tunnel.
She is Jeff, it's called. Mark Wood, The Wood Life. Touching the Heights, I don't know what that's about.
Basketball.
Peter Crouch, The Game by Mika Richards. Square Peg Round Hole by Ned Bolting.
Mika Richards, he's not done as well since he stopped singing, has he? Is it not Micah?
Micah Richards.
Yeah.
Are you thinking of Misha Paris?
No, you were thinking of Mika, the lunatic who did that.
I wasn't thinking of that because I didn't know about that.
Horrible song. What was it called?
I've got no idea.
What was the Princess of Monaco called? Grace Kelly. Grace Kelly, that was the song.
All right, yeah.
Yes.
It was on the BBC.
I know what you mean now, yeah.
That was Mika.
Very, very high-pitched and
Absolute.
screamy, squelchy kind of...
Freddie Mercury-esque.
Attempted.
Yes, yeah. Well, I don't like Freddie Mercury either, so they both sounded exactly the same to me.
Ben Rain.
Here we go then. Who's Godalming on strike? They're in a bit gloomy. I'm surprised the lights aren't on, actually.
No, it's
bright enough for it.
brighter than when the lights needed to be on.
Yeah.
3 slips and a gully. Rain in. Godalming leaves the first delivery. And he's busy around his crease area as that one passes by.
Yeah, he moves around a lot.
Was it the Michael Yardy, wasn't it? He was.
Oh, he had a trigger and a half.
Well, he used to
Literally.
spread around his crease all over the place. And I remember once saying, well, he's prone to LBWs here if he walks around that much. And he was out twice in the same game, LBW, the Graham Onions. I think he got a duck in one of the innings. And some Sussex member took a grievance at me, pointing out the obvious errors. So Rain in again. Godalming clips this out towards the cover area, off the back foot. No run there.
There are fewer moving parts this year than there have been in recent
I was
times
just thinking
for the
exactly
government.
the same thing.
He worked all winter on Mickey Arthur after the first game in which he scored 70 odd and 80 odd against Worcestershire. I asked him about his return to form because he'd been badly out of form last season, and even as captain lost his place in the side. He said, well, we did spot a flaw, but we didn't want to sort it out during the season because we didn't think it was fair on him.
Yeah.
And now that he said we wish we had.
Rain from the Lumley end. Ooh, paying a miss there from Godalming. Decent delivery.
He's using my favourite bats, actually.
The news is starting in my ears.
Yeah.
A minute early.
I'll go on that. Yeah. Keen to get in on.
It's like one day here last. Was it the last match? They started 3 minutes to 11 one morning. Alan Shaw says, I'm sure I saw Albie Morkel clear Bannatynes on at least one occasion. Yeah, you may well have done. Rain in. Godalming plays and misses at that one. That's moved away from him. It's swung away. Smashed off stump.
The left-hander, Albie, wasn't he? So that'd be... have to hit it over mid-off. That'd be a good hit.
That just did a little bit too much there from Rain.
Yeah. There is a little bit in the surface with the overhead conditions.
Alan says, Durham certainly seemed to be on board with the McCullum-Stokes positive batting plans. Meantime at Lords... What's happening at
What's
Lords?
happened?
I don't know.
Do we dare look?
Kent 186 all out, Middlesex 24 for 1.
Wonder if that's a reference to an ex-Durham batter. He may be the victim.
Yeah, maybe. Mr. Stoneman. Mark Stoneman out for 10. Rain in again. Godalming, oh, he's appealing for LBW. He's out. A wicket first over. Godalming nearly fell over the ball there. He stepped into this one and it's hit him low on sort of front and back pad, one after the other there, and he's gone. So I suggested it could be a very short spell before lunch of maybe not even a full over. That was ball number 5. Godalming is out. LBW.
It's just full enough, wasn't it, there, I think, to pitch in line. Be interesting to check the replay there, but it was very full and Godalming's tried to work that away in the leg side. But the perfect storm for Durham. They declare with 1 over to go before lunch, and they pick up a vital wicket of Billy Godalming out without scoring. And what a change room that'll be at lunchtime. Derbyshire lose their wicket with none on the board. And Durham on fire at the moment after registering 452 for 9 declared. Brydon Carse, his maiden first-class century, following up on Ollie Robinson's 5th, I think. Marty, is that right? First-class century.
Yeah.
As they head into lunch with a healthy lead and 1 wicket in the bank.
Crucially, big question. Do you remember what you ordered for lunch?
Fish and chips.
Yes, that's right. It's Friday, fish and chips. That's just lifted my spirits. Right, I've got to do this. I've got to do this update for BBC Radio Newcastle at 1 o'clock, and then it's fish and chip time.
With the dawn of a new era on the horizon, it's time to awaken the sleeping lion. Time to rise and go to war. Hear our cries now, hear us roar. A team with great prospect has now come forth, who fight for our pride and who fight for the North. Together we march, success in our sight, achieving our goals and reaching new heights. Heroes of old and heroes of new, the brave and the bold, they bind us like glue. Stars will be born out on the wicket. Now begins a new chapter at Durham Cricket.
Oh, that's 6. That's a biggie.
Lovely use of the feet.
Excellent from Travaskis. And he's gone.
We got underway eventually at 12:15 after a lot of overnight rain and quite a bit this morning as well, so credit to the ground staff. Durham resuming on 410 for 8, got to 459 for 9 and then declared, and that was when the maximum the batting points came. 452 it was, wasn't it, they declared, when they got the maximum batting points with Brydon Carse smashing a 6 over the health club.
We rose from the dust of the coalfields.
His first century
The
as
dream
well.
of bringing professional cricket.
30 years later, we
And then
stand
the wicket
together.
of Billy
With
Godalming,
many
5th ball
successes
duck,
on and off the
LBW to
field.
Ben Rains.
A trophy cabinet full of silverware.
None for 1.
A professional pathway for boys.
52 for 9.
And girls in the north.
And community programs that both enhance and transcend the sport in our region. But we want to achieve more.
We want to reach every corner of society.
Welcoming players for people of all backgrounds.
Supporting the community to which we belong.
We want to be at the forefront of inspiring generations.
Inspiring people to be better players.
Better people. Better members of society.
We are working hard to welcome everybody.
Developing inclusive environments.
With a commitment to encourage.
Equity.
Diversity.
And inclusion in everything we do.
We aim to make a positive change across cricket.
Our wider community.
We must be accountable.
Cricket is a game for everyone.
Our programmes are for everyone.
Seat Unique Riverside is for everyone.
Durham Cricket for the North, for everyone.
Durham Cricket for the North, for everyone.
Durham Cricket for the North for everyone.
Durham Cricket for the north for everyone.
Durham Cricket for the North, for everyone. Durham Cricket for the North, for everyone.
Durham Cricket for the North for everyone. Durham Cricket for the North for everyone.
Durham Cricket for the North and everyone.
Durham Cricket for the North, for everyone.
We've always been good at designing niche products for consumers,
So our thinking was, if we can use the same design skills on products which have got more volume, we'll be more successful. The big issue was the plan to do it. We set a figure of a capacity to make 250,000 pieces a year. That's an ambitious target, that's our figure. So we then worked with the machinery designers to make the washing machines. Number one in this product, it's got to be reliable. A washing machine has a lot of hard work to do, and it's a very important part of most households. So reliability was a big issue. I think any new product, we've got to learn about it, and that's important. We've got to learn about it so we understand it inside out. And that's taken longer than we expected, but we've taken our time to make sure that it's right. There's a big appetite for buying British products, and rightly so, but we can't rely on that. We've got to make a product that competes with all the imports. And of course, remember, we've got our core business here of making domestic dehumidifiers and bottled water coolers and industrial dehumidifiers. So that takes our time, and we don't want to get this wrong. We've done 120,000 hours of testing washing machines here to make sure that it's absolutely reliable and does the job.